I am live. I am live. Let's see if I can figure out what I'm doing here. How do I get this to full screen? Don't know. Do, 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 do. Well, I don't think anybody's come on yet, but when you do, welcome. Uh, it's been a crazy week or so. Um, I didn't really have anything prepared to post today. As you know, I like to post on a Friday sometime, but I didn't have anything because it's just a lot going on. Um, Unfortunately, in fact, I don't usually work Friday mornings, um, and most of the time I'm in bed or getting the kids ready for school at this point. Uh, but I had an employee of mine that had a family emergency, so they weren't able to work last night. So I got up early this morning and did that one job. In fact, you may remember from some of my earlier videos this background of the wall here, so that's me at work. But yeah, I was just thinking about what I've done in the past year as far as activism. Hey, Capitan, how you doing? Can you hear me okay? I'm wearing these earbuds and sometimes they have really wonky sound. So if I sound like I'm in a tin can, please let me know and I'll just take them off and just go with the phone. And you may have to shout at it, but I'll do the best I can. Yeah, loud and clear. Awesome. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, so I was just thinking about the year that was. Oh, hello, Apostle David E. Taylor, full frontal exposure. That is quite the name there. Yes, thank you. Hit the like, all two of you. Catching up on morning emails. Yeah, I remember having to do that. Um, my my email folder is kind of disgusting. I think there's like 8,000 unanswered emails. Most of them, of course, being just junk or stuff I sent to myself for business. But yeah, um, one of these days I'll spend a weekend cleaning that up and get it back to zero, and I'll have a sense of satisfaction for about 5 minutes until 20 of them roll in again. Um, yeah, so the year that was, the other day I was looking at my phone and on TikTok where I began this journey, um, and I realized that I had posted my first TikTok in on this particular um, channel that I have. I actually had one from before that was just sort of doing dad stuff and wasn't really anything special. My son took over it. He's 5 and a bit of a whiz when it comes to those things, so he's able to break into your phone and take over. Anyway, um, yeah, so I was looking at it, and June the 17th was the first post that I had made, um, where I'm just basically sitting like this, going, I was a Jehovah's Witness, and they used to be in control of my life, and I'm in control now. So um, it's been an interesting time. Um, I have a tripod that's broken, and one of those like long bendy ones that you can like put on a desk or something. So it's sort of doing the Jack in the Box thing with my phone. So that's what that's about. Um, yeah, so I have something almost like 900 videos on TikTok. So I guess I was pretty busy in that way. Um, I think I've got, I forget how many I have here on YouTube, but it's been a fun experience. I've had some good conversations with people. I've met a lot of cool people throughout the year. Some people I can say that are good friends now. Um, I wish that we could all kind of get together for a beer or whatever, but you know, that's the world we live in. It's a big world. Um, yeah, I could go for a beer. Anyway, uh, it's kind of hot this morning. I'm sweating. Not in my nice, cool office in my basement at the moment, as you can tell. So, um, yeah. So I've had lots of different ideas. I've had lots of aspirations, things that I'd like to do. Um, I would like to. Oh, breakfast of champ. Yeah, beer. Hair of the dog. Um, there's a lot that I'd like to do. I'm inspired by a lot of the people that I've seen. Um, my look of this channel has been in flux. You know, I kind of like a thing, and then I'm like, I'm gonna try this, and kind of goes off. So I I'm a little weird that way. I like to have things a certain way. So my first, I don't know, 15 videos or something had the same look where it's sort of a black background and a picture on the side and the letters and stuff the same, and they were pretty uniform that way. But I thought that's kind of boring if I just have it the same way all the time. So I had to switch it up. And trying to find ideas, that's been kind of the tough part. Uh, Before on TikTok, I was trying to post mm, usually 3 or 4 a day on TikTok. So that's why I have that many. But you can get kind of burned out after a while. And I was trying to really push things to get the algorithm going to increase my viewership and stuff. So right now I think I got about 680, no, sorry, 1,680 followers on TikTok. Um, but then I realized if people want to see me, they'll find me. I mean, I don't, I'm not looking to become, Bella Porch or something or whatever, or whoever's got the most viewers on there right now. I'm not looking to get famous. I'm not looking for any of that. I just want to help people. And, if I can answer a question or just encourage somebody, put somebody in the right direction, I'm happy with that. So even if my community is relatively small, that's okay. As long as I make some sort of an impact, then I'm pretty happy with that. So, Capitan, if I remember correctly, you used to post quite a bit in the past, and then you had a bit of a break, and then came back. Is that right? I wish I could say I knew well everybody's content, but there's a lot of you out there, and I only have so much time. So a lot of what I do is done in between work or, hey, Jay, how's it going? I intend to keep going. Yes. This isn't going to be, and I'm out. Thanks for the year, people. Because I've got a lot more that I want to do. That's why I call this a reflection on 1 year of activism and a call to action. Because I don't want it to just be, I made some funny videos and stuff and people get a chuckle, but there's no real impact in their lives. So that's why I made the Apostate Coalition, because I noticed pretty early on. Oh yeah, yeah. I kind of worry about that stuff too. If I get big enough, if I'm gonna get under the microscope of the org, and they're gonna be like, you use that clip. There's 16 seconds of that fairies clip instead of 15. Copyright strike. Well, we'll see. I've got a lot of content, so if I have to take some down, whatever. I'll just redo them. Be like, nah. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with this. I lost my thought now. Train derailed. That's the problem with me. I'm kind of squirrel for a lot of things, so it's kind of hard to keep on track. I gotta work better at that. But that's okay. Like I was saying, that's why I made the Apostate Coalition. That is okay. That is okay. I actually really like doing this. This is probably the second live that I've done here on YouTube because I like to be able to interact with people. So even when I'm working and, uh, Wally has a live up or Jake from Alt World, he has a live up, I like to pop in there and just kind of listen, throw in some comments here and there because I like to be able to interact with people. So um, it's not it's not quite as fun to just stare at your camera and just spout off a monologue. I mean, I do enjoy the editing process. It does take a while, but it's fun to edit funny things and add fart noises or whatever to the stuff. Um, but yeah, the reason that I created the Apostate Coalition is because I noticed early on that there's a lot of similarities in different groups. So the experience that the Jehovah's Witness or ex-Jehovah's Witness community has are very similar to the experiences that the ex-Mormon community has, or ex-Scientologist community, or the ex-Mooney community. I mean, they're going to have their own thing, their own things that only people who were part of it are going to truly understand and feel. But it's close enough that we kind of get it. They can go, oh yeah, I see that. So that was my thought on the whole thing. Is um, like the XJW Reddit. I think it's like 75,000 people are on that. That's a pretty good sized group. Um, when you get enough people together, you can really make some sort of a lasting change, I think. Because myself, if I posted a video every once in a while and just sort of like, yeah, those witnesses, they're kind of weird, and the governing body are kind of jerks, that'd be fine. I mean, some people do that, and that's all good. But I know with myself, I feel like I want to get out there and do more. I want to do more hands-on stuff. So last summer, I had this thing where I made these signs, and I tried to get some people involved. Nobody really did. I think people enjoyed watching me do it, but as far as themselves, it was a little too much to craft some signs and kind of risk exposure in the community, which I understand, because if your circumstances, you don't want to do a thing that's going to get your life screwed up because you partook in some sort of a campaign. So I totally get that. But it felt good to put something physical out there, and instead of just a TikTok or something, that I actually got out there hands-on, crafted something, and I know that for at least a few hours, people driving down the road, walking down the street, saw that. Maybe it had an impact on them. I don't know if someday, somewhere, and an XJW is going to come to me and say, yeah, I saw this sign out one time and it made me think. And then I started checking things out. I hope that's the case, because that would be really fulfilling if it was. But if it's not, I can imagine. I can dream. Yeah, I want to keep track of what's going on here. I've been enjoying live streaming too. Never really did it back in the day. Yeah, it's fun. I do enjoy it, because my style of video taking, create content creating is very much by the seat of my pants, just sort of farting out whatever information is kicking around in my head and having a conversation. I never was one for a lot of well thought out scripted stuff. I like the more natural feel to it. Not to say that I won't do any of that or that I don't want to. I do. I just need to get better at it. So I don't want to. I think back to the talks that I gave when I was a kid or a young person, and I wrote out my talk, and you just sort of, I wasn't good at audience contact. So I was very much, I need to work on use of notes and audience contact. because I don't want it to feel like I'm just reading a thing, to where you're watching me, my eyes dart across the screen because I'm reading the thing. I want to. Oh yeah, word whiskers. Yep, I have a few. I did one video where because I think I say you know what you like I say that a lot, and I counted up one time. I had something like 30 in one video. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I edited them out because they started to bug me at that moment, and then I just sort of added one on the end, and it was like a 2-minute B-roll of me saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of uhs and but I'll get there. I'll get there. I don't have anybody counseling me, so I don't care that much. If hopefully my knows and uhs and ums aren't gonna drive someone off the wall where they just throw their phone in anger. I can't stand it. This guy, he just says a lot. But see, I did it again. Now I'm gonna become aware of it. Ugh. um, yeah, I just want to do. I want to do more. I've seen a lot of things recently that are more IRL activism, or more like community based. Like I was watching Jake's stream about the what is it called? Call Bethel, where he was giving the interview, and I thought, that's great. Like I want to be able to participate in something like that. So I was just talking to a PMO friend of mine. I am going to give credit to that person, but because it's still in the I want to do this stage and hasn't really got much further than that, I'm going to figure out a plan before I, say what it's going to be. But I do want to do more actual campaigns, and I would like to see more participation, like to collaboration with other content creators. Um, whether it be something funny, whether it be something more thought provoking. Because you may have noticed that when it's just me monologuing into the camera, I have I always do that ex witness a wake up here. When it's anything having to do with other people, I have a different setup where it's the Apostate Coalition, and we have the little logo where it's like a little flaming antenna, whatever that is. And so that was the whole idea, that it was supposed to be collaborative. So I would like to do more interviews. If anybody sees this eventually, and you're in a position to where you would like to tell your story, I know it could be a little challenging if you have a story but you don't have really a desire to start up a channel of your own or a podcast or something, but you still feel that there would be people that would benefit from it. I'm more than happy to be that outlet for you. I'm looking to find more people who are physically in, mentally out, that can maybe sort of be the what's the word I'm looking for, like the guerrilla warfare secret agents of the XJW community. So maybe a little leaked information, a little insight into how the meetings are going. Is everyone just sort of staring up like a zombie and there's only 10 of you there at the meeting? Have they got the sisters running the mics because they don't have any other choice, which they should let sisters run the mic anyway, but it's a whole different thing. Do you have some sort of a document that you've seen? Do you know of, are you an elder and you got some inside information as to something that's happened as far as like CSA? I think that's super important right now. There's been various programs out there that highlight the issues going on in the society, but it never seems to be enough. You know, I get excited like, oh, there's a new special, and everyone's really excited about it for about 5 minutes, and then it sort of gets forgotten. And I guess there needs to be a constant barrage of information when it comes to what's going on with the witnesses, because they're not going to let up. The governing body is not going to suddenly just go, you know what, apostates are not a big deal after all, so we don't need to have a talk about it. You know, disfellowship people, they get it. We've talked about it enough. They'll figure it out. We'll leave it to their conscience, you know, whether or not they want to shun their kid or grandma or whatever. It's fine. We'll talk about doctrine. But they're not going to let up on that stuff. There's always going to be some sort of an article or, you know, a David Splain moment where he's going to go on about how they say these things about us, and it's just not going to stop. So we can't really stop. I wish that we as a community didn't have to talk about these things. Well, I guess you could say we don't really have to talk about them, but we do, because it's important to save people. We've been programmed to go out there and talk to people about, you know, the coming end, and try and save them from the destruction that Jehovah is going to do. Save you from the destruction from God. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. But they can't expect us to just shut up, because that's what we know. If there's one thing about being in a cult, it's that being in it for any length of time, it's sort of like you can't get rid of it. You know, like it's like eating some sort of food, and then you can smell it on you days later. You know, like it's coming out of your pores. It's just sort of permeates you, and you're just sort of left with the consequences of being exposed to whatever that is. So it's not easy to get rid of that. And I wish we could just take a pill, take some sort of a pill that would just sort of cleanse your body, cleanse your system, cleanse your mind of all the indoctrination and the things that are just sort of part of your personality. But unfortunately, that's just not a reality, not possible. So we work it out, right? We go to therapy. We talk to each other. We share stories, and we laugh when somebody says something goofy, that some experience that they had from a service group or whatever, and we cry when we realize how damaging it's been to people, and we see how hurt they are, and the loss of friends and family, and it's a thing that some people are worse off than others. I've seen and heard some experiences that I'm like, oh my goodness, my life's perfect compared to what they went through. But if you've been in it for any length of time, even if you had a pretty squeaky clean existence and you didn't have a whole lot happen to you, it still has affected you, and you're still damaged by it, unfortunately. So I want to help people who are also damaged, and try and help people avoid being damaged by the organization. So I would like to see if anybody has, as I mentioned before, if you have some sort of an experience that you would like to relate. I just got on the XJW Reddit. I've been a part of it, but I haven't really done much other than a couple of comments here and there. I haven't really posted much. But I'm going to try and use that to find other XJWs. Kind of feels like the Jedi trying to find the other Jedi's out there that are left. I don't know why, it just does. Um, because I'd like to get more of a collaborative effort going. Um, I know that Jake has said he's interested in doing some sort of a rebuttal to, or just some sort of a response to that gigantic document regarding shunning. Um, so I'm going to participate in that any way that I can. But I also, in myself, I would like to have some sort of a campaign similar to what's. Yeah, I hate it too. I really do. I'd like to have something similar to what the Paul Bethel thing is about. I really had an idea before I even heard about that I wanted to talk. Um, if enough people can get out there and just talk to their local media, send out emails, um, we've got to make an impact. We've got to do something. Somebody's got to pick up the story. And those little stories can get picked up by others, and then it can go nationwide or international. Uh, at some point, somebody, I don't know, but somebody did a story regarding ARC, and everybody in the community knows about that. Unfortunately, they've done a pretty good job obscuring from the rank and file. But those are the ones who really need to know about it. And anybody who is considering studying, they, they need to be informed. If they want, if it's good for their life and they are happy to do that, more power to them. That's fine. But if you want to leave that organization, you can't. You're stuck. There's there's a ton of apostles out there that their story is essentially, I figured out that this was wrong. I uh, I come to realize how many things were inappropriate and just didn't make any sense. Just didn't fit. My faith was destroyed, and then they get disassociated. They didn't even disassociate. They just had questions. They just had things that just didn't compute, and they lost out. And if anybody has a doubt, the United Nations has, human rights legislation, basic rules and things that you should be able to. Now they're going to say, you have the choice to change your religion. That's fine. We're not forcing you, you know. But it's also and misleading. Um, I had planned to do a video this week regarding democratic warfare and just sort of doing a comparison of what elders are saying versus what, in a public venue, like a trial or something, versus what they're saying in talk or articles. They don't fit together. They're not the same. So there's a double standard there. There is a definite falsehood. They are flat out lying. And they may think it's fine and dandy because this whole system is run by Satan, so that the government supports it. But They still got to live in the land. They still have to follow the rules. They still have to. They, they can't just lie in court and not expect it to happen. There's going to be repercussions. So I think it's important that lawyers and politicians know what when it comes to that. We can't just get away with it. We shouldn't be able to get away with it. So unless somebody is looking for it, they're not going to find it. They're not going to find somebody talking on YouTube about the wrongs that they do unless you're looking for it, right? It generally isn't just going to pop up in some XJW content unless they have said the algorithm something so it's starting to get. So that's why I want to do something more proactive and uh, get into the media. Uh, I had a plan to make a QR. Well, I haven't. I had a QR code. There's a playlist that I have on my channel that I've collected short videos, uh, different videos that are just kind of good size bits of information that aren't hour and a half long commentaries on broadcast. Just little things that are important and meaningful, doctrine for some that I think can make an impact. I've been busy, unfortunately, like this business. I get at least ideas that don't go very far. So that's something that I have to work on as a person to make sure that when I start a project, I actually get through it. I'm really bad for that. So please be patient with me. If I'm like, call to action, I'm going to bed now. I gotta follow through with my calls to action. So um, I guess that's all I wanted to say. It's been a good year of activism. It's been fulfilling. It's been good for me. It started out as sort of a therapy session for myself, um, but it's turned into a lot more than that. So as much as it's benefited me, I'm happy to say that I know some people felt it. I want to keep moving forward. I'd like to expand my audience some. Um, I'm looking. I don't know how accurate this is, but it says I got 2 people watching right now. So thanks, Jay. Uh, I would like to be able to have lives like Jake has, where he's got like 150 people on talking all at once. And, so I know that there's some real conversations happening. There's some something going on. Um, I'll get there eventually, I hope. So if you're watching this after it's been posted, please, you know, when you see XJW content, if you care about it, just give it a like. Send the link to somebody so it shows that it's being shared. Just throw an emoji or something in the comment section so that the algorithm sees that there's some sort of and it's gonna boost it a little bit. And as a community, we can help each other. So I've been trying to make a point of doing that. Um, Even if it's just to say, I really enjoyed this video. Thank you for posting it. I try to remember to hit play. So a lot of times I'll listen while I'm working. I'm not really watching it, so I'm it just kind of moves on to the next one. I'm like, God dang, I forgot to engage with that video because I wanted to succeed, right? Um, I just want to say
thank you to everybody who's been part of the community. It's been fun. I have a lot of good conversations and the people I talk to on the regular. Um, I'd like to have more. So if you're watching this and you're interested in a group of people who are trying to have a nice safe space, you know, there is a channel for venting. So if you need to just scream into the void, scream into that void. Uh, they're generally trying to be positive and come up with ideas, uh, encourage one another, have conversations, occasionally play some video games together or something. Um, it's just it's a good time. So if, if that feels like a place that you'd like to visit, feel free. In the, I'll put the description stuff by the time this gets posted. Um, and you can click on that my link tree. Um, I have to be better at making sure I update. You know, if at first it doesn't work, try again. I probably have just oops, I forgot to update it because once it's updated, you have to do it. So that way there's a floating around the 3 years later that somebody can just get into your thing. So, anyway, I guess that's all I really had to say. Um, yeah, I would like to see a position. I would like to see a lot of things happen. Um, too important to just sit back and let it happen. So I'm not going to sit back and let it happen. I'm going to be proactive. I'm going to be out there more within reason. I still have a family life, and I can't devote a ton of time to it because that's just not fair to my wife and kids. Um, I work, um, but when I have some time, some some good work. Fight, fight, Excelsior! Yeah, so I guess that's all I got to say. I've been going on for now close to 40 minutes, and I should probably wrap it up. So it's been a good year. Uh, please come along for the journey. It ain't over yet. We'll see. Maybe I'll do one of these in a year from now, anniversary, and we can compare it to where I'm at, what got accomplished in that time. So, that is it. I thank you very much for watching, and please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the bell for notifications. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, that is available to you. I appreciate that as well. And with that, I bid you adieu. Thanks, guys.